Cool. It's nice that like there's a few people in the audience, but the people that are coming, they're those that are curious probably. You know, you've kind of maybe heard about QBIC and what what we're trying to do, and you guys who know each other. But just as a closing thought, it's like it's so important to say we've identified what we want. We've identified like the possibility of this really cool technology that can offer borderless payments. It can offer identity systems for people in the developing world. It can offer education and validation. So touching on the records. We know what the promise is. What's so important about what I see in this potential is it's that it requires us to carefully identify what areas of research we need to be looking at right now. Like it drives me nuts that like you know, in a very institutionalized educational system, we're not talking about like sort of new sort of steps forward in economics or politics, like talking about decentralized governance. Like one of my friends, he's doing his master's in Budapest on digital governance, and a lot of the topics are slowly touching there. But yet, you know, in computer science, we're not talking about the possibilities of a distributed system. Maybe because we're scared. Like but it's important to keep up with what the vision is, and not be fixated on what's going on and what's wrong. Yeah, it takes time. Like we're not there yet. We don't have systems at scale yet. We don't have the institutions that are in place because they're only slowly realizing that they need to be putting a lot of research into all of this. So what we have, we're not there yet. What we want, we know. On ideology, JD mentioned, you know, the ideology sort of crypto-anarchism and all of that, and also, you know, each belief system, each government has their own ideologies ultimately that people ascribe to. From the research standpoint, it's an interesting perspective because if we are ideological about what we're researching, we're constrained, right? We're so focused on one thing that's probably like, you know, what the reason why things aren't working today, or you know, we're trying really hard to carve out or dig out the problem space of, you know, trying to scale a ledger-based system, which is costly to the world. But if we take a step back, we realize all the things that really can happen. So a good analogy, for example, is the work on atomic energy and how that was used to, you know, basically massacre, and end World War II, but massacre millions of innocent lives. But on the flip side, there's really good things you can do with atomic energy, right? So constrained researchers is a problem today in the space. Yeah, and it's important to push the vision. Like, as researchers, as people that are enthusiastic, like you guys here came today. It was really cold. It took me 15 minutes walking in the wind, but we're here. It's important to entertain like this vision in research, where we know surely today there's a lot of work to be done, but it's important and it's almost our duty to explore what is on the horizon, right? Because and we're lucky, right? Because 20 years from now, I can guarantee you the digital space is not going to look at the same. I just got off on a call with, so I work in the space, and you know, the market verticals and opportunities we're talking to, and the space, not even talking about on a government or political endeavor. So yes, Canada is doing a lot of things, trying different blockchain systems, because they know it's going to get there somewhere. We don't have the technology really to scale, nicely, but it's important to entertain these thoughts. So the closing thought is we need to be cognizant that all this stuff we talk about, crypto, it really shouldn't be, it's just a distraction right now, hence why maybe a year ago this room would have been tripled. It's important to look at what the potential is and to see this as an opportunity to really rethink how we've been thinking about policymaking, about governance, about economics, constraints and theories, maybe stuck in a sort of echo chamber. With something like with a technology like blockchain that's borderless, that's meant to be global, it's imperative to rethink business models, rethink how user-centric models could be generating something, but in user-centric models, the key is to generate value for the user without extracting value from any other source. So I urge you to think about this. What it really implies is that big companies like Facebook and Google, big companies that are really extracting value from their users, for example, on data privacy and things like that, well, sooner or later, with this technology, where you own your own data, you own your own money or value system, the model has to flip, and it's no longer the users that are subscribing to big companies, or abstract that to governance for that matter. So e-Estonia is friendly, right? It's opening. But it's the big companies that are subscribing to their users. And that's a really interesting kind of flipping of the solution and opportunity space we have ahead of us.